World Combat Sports. Good afternoon and welcome, boxing fans. Hey, I have the distinct pleasure to sit down with a boxing legend who was active in the 90s, hosting a ledger of 43 victories, 8 defeats, with 32 knockouts. He was in the ring with the likes of Ivan Robinson, Floyd Mayweather, Diego Corrales, Arturo Gotti. Welcome, the one and only Angel Manfredy. How you doing, champ?
How you doing, World Combat Sports?
All right, champ. I wanted to sit down and talk to you, kind of enlighten the new generation as to who you were and what influence you had in boxing back in the 90s. If you can give us a little bit of reflection on what motivated you to get started in the sport. I know you had a short amateur career, so you can just talk to the boxing fans and explain to them how you got in the sport.
Oh, okay. That's no problem. I guess I was predestined because when you look at the day I was born, October 3rd, 1974, that was the day of the one born in the jungle. All he was George Foreman. I was born that same day, and I was predestined, born in Gary, Indiana, which was born in capital at the time. And all I ever did was fighting on the streets. And 90-something percent of Gary, Indiana is African American. Praise God, I love the African American. I love the people. You know what I'm saying? I love my family. It's all good. But that's all I ever do is fight. Coming to boxing at 9 years old, and then turning pro at 18 years old because I always wanted to be professional. You know what I'm saying? There was just I always had a dream after at 9 years old. Coming into the ring for the first time, getting knocked down 3 times, getting off the canvas, and pointing to the people. I said, I'm going to be world champion. They looked at me and laughed. They said, all my life I was laughed, put down, and did not matter. That matter, it made me stronger. It motivated me to accomplish what I had to accomplish to the boxing world today.
Hey, that's good stuff, champ. I mean, it's good that you're able to explain that to the new generation, being that boxing has changed tremendously since the time that you used to lace them up. What was? Go ahead.
The dedication, the sacrifice, the hunger, the desire. It's there in fighters. Certain fighters, there's certain fighters that I like, but the finesse is not there. The story is not there. I guess say just the aura of a fighter is not what it should be or what it was in the past, the last century that we got out of, saying which was the century I was in, saying we got the greats in that century, and the greats was getting paid very well, and the ratings were skyrocketing. Ratings are good now, but the numbers don't add up like they did in the 90s, but it's all good.
Hey, being such a likable fighter back then when you was actively, stepping in there each and every time and giving the fans entertainment, how did you come about with the title El Diablo? How did that come about? Was it your tenacious fighting style, or that's just a character that you took on as a fighter?
It was given to me. It was also the way I fight, but it was given to me after my car accident, my fatal car accident, which almost killed me. I woke up in the hospital, pointed at the doctor, said, "Whatever be the fight against you, they're going to finish it done." After that, 3 months later, I got back in the ring. 3 years out, I was a world champion. After that, my next fight into the ring, I knocked up this dude real nasty, and my trainer, John Taylor, he yelled out real loud, "He don't fight like no angel, he fight like the devil." And my manager, George Shooter, took that idea. A week or two later, he brought a mask to me, a double mask to me, and he said, "We're going to wear the double mask. Your name's going to be El Diablo. Angel El Diablo, man. Friend's going to wear a double mask." And then I came with the stockings, and the red shoes, the stockings, the fire, and the white, which was the show. Look at the show, letting people know when I came in as El Diablo, you best believe we were in a fight. You best believe it's not going to be easy to get past me. You best believe, but during that time in my career, I mean, I was a killer. I come to kill, still destroy. I can't devour anything that stuff in front of me as a fighter, but I just wasn't. What I did. You see me 100%. You see me 80, 70%. I mean, throughout my career, because I was still struggling with life outside the ring. My book, my movie, In and Outside the Ring. Outside the ring is where it's all about what you bring to the table of boxing, your personality, who you are, what you represent, your aura, your finesse as a fighter, your finesse in and out of the ring, your demeanor, your characters. I mean, your character. I mean, just the way you portray yourself as a human, as a fighter, as a role model, as a sports athlete. I brought that to the table, and God gave me a bunch of tips, and I had many tips in the way I portrayed myself, the way I acted, the way I responded to it in and out of the ring. Is what showed the people, what showed the fans. They loved it. They embraced me. They loved me. They loved the story. And not that I was trying to. I'm basically living the story, which after my career I can portray and I can speak the story now to my writer. I just started my book back up yesterday with my writer. She's doing well now, and I can portray the story. I can tell the story. I can tell people where I've been, what I've done, how I overcame, how I persevered, how I was up high, making the to the low, losing all that, and coming right back up. Back again. So it's not how we start as a fighter or as we start as a man, how we finish. And I thank God for the finished product now. I'm giving back to the community of boxing. I'm giving back to the people. I'm giving back to the world. And it's what we must inspire the new generation with. And that's my heart. It's the new generation fighters and in and out of the ring. You have to be a fighter. We're all fighters. Amen. So, I mean, it does not matter. It does not matter.
I agree there, champ. I mean, looking back on, the trials and tribulations you had as a fighter back then, being involved in a near fatal car accident was definitely, a challenge in itself, rather than stepping in the ring and trying to, make a living that way and fighting the toughest opposition, to dealing with the trials that you had outside the ring. What really kept you motivated back then when you was experiencing these, adversities in your life, and being motivated to continue fighting as a top level fighter in the sport?
The heart, the dedication, the heart, the dream. The vision that I had as a 9-year-old kid, and I always had an aura around me. I always had a presence around me. And I thank God that He was always there. And it's just something about me. People always attracted to in my career and my life, and as a person, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I tell you, it's very beautiful. You know what I'm saying? But
I know, as we talked earlier, if you would have had the platform that they have today with the social media, the character that you had back then, the bravado and stepping in the ring and leaving it in the ring, just representing that ferociousness as a fighter in this day and era with social media, it would have been phenomenal for you. But, you wasn't provided that. But yet and still, if you mention the name Angel Manfredy, a lot of boxing fans still remember who you are, even fighting back in the 90s. They still remember the guy who stepped in the ring, was a tough, really didn't talk too much about it. He just basically went in the ring with the toughest opposition and let his hands do the work. If you had an opponent that you can say that was your toughest in your career, that kind of maybe taught you something or you taught them something, who would it be?
I mean, there's so many, but Arturo Gatti. The reason why Arturo Gatti is because Arturo Gatti was the show. He was the show. He brought Rocky Balboa to boxing. The way he fought, busted up, and never cut him, but I was the first one to cut him, but never, always losing the fight, come back and knocking the guy out. Gotti was explosive. He's a Hall of Famer. He's in the kind of sort of Hall of Fame. He's a very awesome fighter, and I was determined when I became world champion. I was determined when me and my wife was sitting down watching ESPN2, Arturo Gatti was the main event. I didn't know who he was, and he knocked out this guy real nasty on TV. And I pointed at the TV, said, "Hey, I'm gonna fight him one day." My wife said, "Yeah, right." What a smart attitude. What a smart, because she liked him. She liked how he fought it, and she liked how he looked. You know what I'm saying? But I always knew. I always knew because I spoke it, and I always knew that Arturo Gatti was the one to beat. He was the name. He was he had the ratings. He had the fans behind him, as well as me as well. But he fought more on TV than I did until I fought him, until I beat him. And when I beat Gotti, I became the best pound for pound in the world. You know what I'm saying? And top 10, you know what I'm saying, pound for pound in the world. And it's that where it's at. That's what it's all about.
Hey, champ. Excuse me, champ. Explain to them when you said that, when you had that defining moment and you defeated one of the best in Arturo Gatti, and he was absolutely, like you said, he was that Rocky. He was the one that everybody was looking to, that had the star power, and he was a tough fighter himself. When you beat him, it was almost like a championship bout, because that basically turned the pages in your career also. So kind of explain to the boxing fans what happened, the numbers that you was putting up back there in the 90s compared to the numbers that they put up today.
It's totally different. The numbers from back in the day when I was fighting, when Mayweather made $1 million with Devontae, you got Garcia and what's his name, Broner. They made $1 million and they're 4-time world champions, and they only made $1 million. You know what I'm saying? It was on national TV. I was there. It's crazy. They're making $1 million now in this era, and I made that in the late '90s. You know what I'm saying? So the fighters don't carry the weight. When I say weight, I said the ratings. When I say ratings, the people, the backing of the people. It's all about in and out of the ring once again. It's all about in and out of the ring, the persona, the way the fighter carries himself, the way the fighter reacts in the ring as well as out of the ring, being a people's champion. And I support and respect the people all day long. It's the people who I fought for. It's the people who I want to impress. It's the people that I want to tip my hat off to. It's the people that I love. And it's the people that I'm going after to this day, the new generation. I let them know it's not only hard work and dedication, like Mayweather says, I tell them the same thing, but it's also outside the ring and spiritually as well as physically. Totally sound in mind, body, and spirit can perform and to do what you have to do to accomplish in the boxing world today. In these days, you have good fighters. You have very good fighters in Devontae Wilder, Joshua, Spinks, Crawford, Lomachenko. You have very good fighters, Triple G, Canelo. You have very good fighters, but they're just not putting up the numbers as we did. But you do have Canelo. Canelo's special. He puts the numbers. He got very high ratings, Canelo, due to the fact that La Hoya is moving him very well. Mm-hmm. There's certain fighters that puts up the ratings. There's certain fighters that put the ratings. So it's a different era, but at the same time, it can be changed if they had people that knew the game in their corner. Like De La Hoya, he's moving Canelo very well financially, as far as money-wise. sponsorships and endorsements and all that. He's very marketable with the red hair and blue eyes, and that was given to him through his parents. I mean, through God. They gave him that red hair and blue eyes, light skin. You know, say white Mexican, blue eyes, red hair. I mean, that's different. It's different in these fights. He fights very well at that. You know, at that. Even though I didn't think he'd beat Triple G, but I still don't think he's going to beat Triple G in the rematch. But it's going to be a good fight. And that's what you're going to see in this era. Boxing is back on its feet, I believe. I think boxing is doing better. But the fighters are not getting paid what they should get paid. What I believe it should be a lot more. And Mayweather showed, because Mayweather was in the era of the 90s as well, and he showed what you could make in the new century, which we're living in, and he made probably $500 million for the Conor McGregor. So Mayweather knows Mayweather knows the game. You know what I'm saying? And fighters these days don't know the game. But Mayweather does, and he's from my era. So Mayweather showed the people, showed the fans, showed the fighters what they could do, what they could produce. You know, in and out of the ring, what they could produce financially. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad.
What it is, you know. Go ahead.
And I'm glad you touched on that. Like Triple G and Canelo will do the fight in September once more, and I'm pretty sure the boxing fans was kind of curious to see who you would select out of that bout. And for what you just mentioned, you think Triple G is going to be the one to get, you know, his hand raised in victory, you know, to basically determine a true winner from their first matchup.
Yeah, I think he should have got his hand raised the first time. You know, saying you can't run from a champion. You got to beat the champion. You got to dethrone the champion. You got to take it to the champion. And Canelo was running the first fight that they had, and Triple G was putting the pressure. And you know, you can tell that Canelo respected his punching power. Triple G is very strong, but he's marketable, but not like Canelo. You know, Canelo, he has that behind him, which the judges and they favor Canelo because he's more attractive to the fans. You know, but so is Triple G as well. But Canelo's worth a lot more, and that's why Canelo's going to get paid more than Triple G. Even though Triple G is the champion, you're going to see that. You're going to see Canelo make more money than Triple G. You will see that. I don't know how much more, but he definitely is going to make more money because he's worth more. He has more ratings and he has a more bigger following than Triple G. And you know, Triple G is Canelo is from Mexico and Triple G is from overseas. So I mean, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight, and Triple G is getting at the age a little bit. He's 36, I believe, but very sound, very dedicated, and I think he's going to come on a lot stronger this time. I think he understands the first time what happened, and he was kind of disappointed, but the fans is kind of out a little disappointed too. But that's boxing. I mean, when you have that much money behind Canelo, I mean, you're gonna get a second fight. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna be a bigger payday for both fighters.
Yeah, we're hoping that both fighters are healthy enough to, be able to step in the ring in September without any injuries and so forth. Being that it's basically turned into a grudge match now, but I'm pretty sure the boxing community will accept nothing less than a true, champion. Not champion, but victory in this particular bout with Triple G and Canelo. It has to be a designated supremacy in the middleweight division, and those two are top of the division, Canelo and Triple G.
Oh yeah.
So that particular bout coming up in September, it has to be a determining factor of who's the best out of those two. Speaking of opposition, speaking of fighters, this day and era, Who do you think emulates your style the best in this era? Is it anyone that kind of mirrors your persona that you had back then when you was an active fighter?
I would say no. I don't see nobody bringing the show like I brought. I was totally different. I was totally different, and my personality, the way I carried myself, was totally different. But not taking nothing away from other fighters. We're just different. Canelo's different. Truji's different. Devontae Water is different. Joshua, they're all different. Lomachenko is a special fighter. I love my Lomachenko. It's just a different era. I can't really compare it. You can't really compare it to, to myself today and back then. Back then there's more show and action, a lot more action. But
that's understandable, champ.
This year, go ahead.
I say that's understandable, champ. I wanted to talk, like you mentioned before. I wanted to kind of, give you the time to talk about some new projects. Since you was that superstar boxer in the 90s, now that you're surfacing again, and you have some projects and you have some accolades that's upcoming. If you can brief the fans on what you talked about that's going on in Vegas in several months from now, an accolade of yours to reap the fruits of your labor as being a dedicated superstar fighter during your era, and also those projects you talked about as far as having a movie and a book that's coming out to tell your story. Can you enlighten the fans on that?
Yes. What's been given to me is my teammate, my team, which is Dory Ottaker and her daughter and myself, and the team is coming together. We have people from Vegas. We have people from different parts of the United States that are working with us, and we're making things happen. This year I'll be August 14th to the 19th. I'll be in Las Vegas, and they're paying for all the trip and everything, travel, food, everything they're paying for, and they're going to be doing a brain scan on me the 14th, 15th. I was diagnosed bipolar. I have a little brain atrophy. That's mainly what they want to see. The brain atrophy, part of my piece of my brain is dead, so the doctors say, but I never agreed to that. But it is what it is, and they're going to do scans on me and test my brain, and then the Las Vegas Hall of Fame, they want me there as well, and they're going to announce me, and they're going to do many interviews with me and all that, because they want to induct me into the Las Vegas Hall of Fame next year, which is exciting. I'm excited. That's what kind of started their talking, I believe. My wife told me, and I'm excited about that as well, because Las Vegas is next year, and but by next year, my book will be finished. So be it. And I'm praying for the movie. They want their documentary movie. I really felt in my heart that my story is a movie. It's a very intriguing and very special and a very how can I say very action-packed movie, say all that I did in and out of the ring, which is the title of the movie, in and out of the ring, and which is going to be special. Also, meet greets throughout the world and different autograph signing I'm going to be doing throughout the world. I have a guy from Vegas that's going to be working on that. So the team is coming together and everything's taking place, and also I'll be working with a different exercise machine, which I can't say the name of it yet because the contract is not signed. Everything is pending and everything is lined up. Everything is going to negotiation. There's attorneys that are on it, and everything's going to be signed this year, and everything's going to come to pass. But this machine is going to be hitting all the gyms throughout the world, and complex sports and all the sports throughout the world. This machine's going to be special. I'm going to be the face of it. And I guess so-called kid show as well. I believe as well is going to be facing MMA side of it, and I'm going to be the boxing side of it. So there's a lot of stuff that's going on. Doors are open, and opportunities are happening, and rewards, and I thank God for it. Thank the Lord for that, and it's going to be special because I can hit people, meet them where they're at, in the ring, in the gym, as well as out the gym, in a book, in a movie, and reach the world is whatever my heart desire was to do my whole life. And now that I'm out the ring, I'm reaching the world in and out of the ring through my testimony, through my life story, through what I've gone through, and everybody wants a true story. And I don't hold nothing back. I don't hide. I don't have skeletons in my closet. I speak it as it is. I know what I've gone through. I know what I've done. I know what I've in and out of the streets, the drugs, the women, the perversion, the fame, the fortune. I mean, I know what it's like to be a star. I know what it's like to be down. I know what it's like to get up and keep on going, never giving up. I mean, I tell the kids and I tell the youth throughout the world, never give up. Regardless of anything in life, we must never give up. Regardless of where you're at in your life. I mean, that's my saying. Not only that's my saying, but my saying is a man is only as good as his word. Meaning this, death and life is in the power of the tongue. So what you speak out of your mouth, it's going to either happen or it's not. If it happens, that means there's faith. That means there's action behind it. So it's gonna be happen. So be it. It's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's all about. These fighters need to make things happen and start speaking stuff into existence. Start speaking what they're gonna do and do what they say and say what they do. And we can have a awesome generation coming up. And I'm excited for this generation. I'm excited to be a voice for the youth. I'm excited to be a voice for the kids. And that's our team, Manfredy Boxing. That's what it's about. It's about the new generation, and I'm inspired to inspire them and to motivate them and to kickstart in them a fire, stir them up to accomplish the highest level that they can accomplish. But it comes from within, and that's where the problem's at. Within, there's only certain fighters out there on my hand that you can pick in the world today that has that gift within. I want to mention another fighter, which is Triple G's weight class. I believe the twin brothers.
Jamal Charlo. Charlo.
Charlo, yeah, the Charlos now, they're special.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very special. I mean, once again, Charlo is calling Super G out. I mean, and man, it's gonna be a good one. That's a pickle right there. You say Charlo is, both brothers are very good, but the one that's calling out Super G, the little bit bigger one,
Jamal.
He's very, very, very exciting fighter. He's a very exciting fighter. You're saying. So there's fighters coming up, man. I haven't fit my head off. The last year was better, but this year there's fighters that are coming out of the woodworks and they're coming out from nothing and becoming something. And I do like Charlo. I do like certain fighters. I do like certain fighters out there to this day. But the dedication's got to be there. And there's not too many hungry ones out there. But I had to mention his name, Charlo, and his brother. I mean, they're dedicated and hungry. That's what it's about, hungry. You can see the hunger in their eyes. You see it through their eyes, you know what I'm saying? And it's exciting. It brings excitement to the boxing world, and it brings excitement to the game. And I hope and I pray that the next generation will rise and will meet and will accomplish what we have accomplished in the boxing world, and put a name down in the history of the books and live off that name.
Hey, champ, that was absolutely a great point that you covered. Yeah, you absolutely correct. The Charlo twins are pretty much taking over boxing. You have Jamal Charlo that's in the middleweight division. I'm not sure the next time he's going to be able to come close to fighting Triple G. It's all determined about who's the victor between him and Canelo. But I'm pretty sure
Right.
he will be in contention one way or the other. And then Jamel Charlo is fighting at 154. So we're looking forward to
Right.
his next bout. What I wanted to say is, super congrats to you for the Las Vegas Hall of Fame inductee. We the boxing fans know that you deserve it. I salute you for your hard work and dedication in the ring, out of the ring, and sustaining, having that intestinal fortitude to keep driving forward, and then changing your life around in your boxing career. Just letting the boxing fans know and the boxers is out there that the sport itself, you don't play boxing. Boxing is a tough sport. And sometimes
Oh yeah.
those who have to go to war in the ring are pretty much sometimes experiencing war outside of the ring too. So it's
Oh yeah. That's a definite. That's a definite. That's any fighter. I mean, any fighter is always any fighter is always tempted in every way. You know what I'm saying? A lot of fame, a lot of fortune, a lot of females, any fighter out there is you're dealing with temptation, and it's hard to be dedicated, it's hard to be hungry, it's hard to withstand all that in their face, so yeah, you're right about that.
Hey champ, hey, that concludes today. I truly appreciate your stopping in World Combat Sports and providing me the opportunity once again to speak with you and tell the world about your story. I was totally, interested from the beginning, the first time we talked, and I'm gonna tell you, boxing fan, this is a genuinely good guy. For him to get back to me as quick as he did, he's a genuinely good guy. I followed him growing up as a fighter. He's sincere, and I hope you support him and his projects and what he has going on. And those of you that's out in the Vegas area, if you're able to stop by and see his Las Vegas Hall of Fame inductee, then do so. Support Angel Manfredy. Okay? Hey, champ, that's all I got for today. Truly salute to you. Thank you for providing me the opportunity. Until next time.
Mr. White, it's been a pleasure, my brother, and World Combat Sports. I'm more than I appreciate you, man, and support you all the way, my brother.
All right, then. Thanks, champ.
All right, now. Bye-bye.
Bye.